Just consider this, dude. Like it's an 11-point line.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing quite possibly the best defensive coordinator in the league, who's going to blitz you, who's going to see if they can man you up. And early and often, it looked like Bryce Young had done this 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know if something clicked in him or he's got a big game gene where it had to be a David against Goliath thing for him to play like this. And he's showed us little I've seen these flashes, which is why I've never wanted to say, like, give up on the kid. You know, last year, you watched that Green Bay game, I felt like there were some moments in that game where I'm like, damn, he's a pro quarterback. And you watch him in this game, and I'm like, this is not fluky. If it's fluky, it's got, like, you do not see teams shred Kansas City like this, period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He was shredding them in the passing game at different points. I mean, at the end of the half, if it weren't for the red zone, him and Mahomes went toe-to-toe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he put the ball on Tommy Tremble at the end of the half. It's like you can go into the half in a ball game with these guys. To go to the half where Spags makes adjustments and come out and play even better. I mean, he made some throws against the blitz in this game that were jaw-dropping, that were just they were incredible. Throws to Moore. If you watch this game, you saw something out there it's hard to deny, which this kid is a pro quarterback. Now, can he repeat this performance? I don't know, but it sure makes it a lot easier to get up here and say all this after you play the Chiefs. Had this happened against, the Panthers in an inter-squad scrimmage, we're all saying, yeah, but. That was the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, on the other side of things, I think the Chiefs have some problems on defense because I think part of the reason Spags brings so much damn pressure is because he's not sure if the rushers can get home.
Mm.
And so, like, in a game like this, just really revealing for two organizations right here where it's like, I don't want to panic if I'm the Chiefs, but they've had some guys out, right? Watson?
Yep.
Right? Watson.
Yeah, Watson's been out.
Watson's been out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal. But also the guys that leave in free agency, eventually those things, you got Najee Johnson out there. People are going to take shots at him.
Yeah.
Cook had some problems in the slot. Like, there were just issues with this defense that you're not used to seeing. And I'll be damned, the guy exposing them is the little guy that got benched 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just so impressed with him. The 4th and 3 to Thielen was incredible. At the end of the third quarter, the very last throw he makes is one of the best throws I saw all day. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to Bryce Young, not only for doing this in a vacuum, because it's not just doing it in a vacuum, it's also doing it with all the mental anguish that comes with being a high pick and a Carolina Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And being benched early this season, all that shit. This was an amazing, this is as close. You won 3 games. You lost. I know it feels like you lost 1 game, but you might as well feel like you won 3 games yesterday if you're the Carolina Panthers, you're Panthers fans, because you might have something. Like, really, you might have something. The way this kid looked was really good. I don't want to jump out of the gym too much, but he was good.
He was blitzed on 38% of his dropbacks and was 11 of 13 for 135 yards.
I can't wait till we sit up here in these shows and say, everybody knows you can't blitz Bryce Young. I hope this is the beginning of it, but here's the problem with the Kansas City defense. 8 explosives yesterday, 9 last week. I said it last week coming out of the Bills game. I don't like the Bills matchup in the playoffs as much because of the additions to the Bills and subtractions of the Chiefs. This is it might be a bug. Sometimes a bug will go through a side of the ball and like you just play bad for a month. And maybe that's what's going on, and they'll stabilize. But there are some matchup problems outside.
Yeah, I also wonder if, like, looking back at the explosives in this game, like you mentioned, Najee Johnson playing the most ball of his career, Chamari Connor in an increased role this year. Brian Cook went down during the season last year. He hasn't played as much with those guys.
No.
I think that's part of it, too. Obviously, Snead gone. You mentioned the Watson injury.
Communication.
These guys
Willie
haven't played
Gay.
together that much, right?
Like, there's just a lot of little things that happen to a defense that you're like, what happened to that defense?
Right.
And when you're on defense, it is hard to work around issues. If you got a bad guard, you slide to him,
mm-hmm.
you help him. If you got a wide receiver who can't catch the football, well, he's going to be doing cardio. But like on defense, when you got a corner that's a problem, they're going to test you.
Yeah.
When you got guys that haven't worked together, there's communication issues. They're going to be explosives. And more than anything, like when you man up and you got the Panthers beating you routinely, like you got some problems. And I'm not saying these are things that are going to keep them from getting where they want to go, but maybe. The Panthers were the Panthers were only the third team in the Andy Reid era since 2013, including playoffs, to score on 75+% of the drives against the Chiefs. The only team to win such a game was Tom Brady's Patriots in Week 6, 2018, a shootout won by New England, 43-40. So the point is, if they'd have figured things out in the red zone, it's a big if. But like Kansas City's going home upset by the Panthers. So like flying close to the sun, it's kind of like Patrick Mahomes said, is like, I'd like to win some blowouts. And he's kind of joking, I figure, but like a lot of truth is said in jest. Like, okay, we know we can win close games now. Let's not have to do this all the time. Now, the saving grace for Kansas City is they're stacking enough wins up where they're going to get home field advantage, probably, and they're going to take a week off. There's going to be a bye. Teams like this that play close games a lot and win them, you don't want to have to go the long way to the playoffs, especially not on the road. At least they have that going for them. But I do, and now the improvements, I'll be positive, okay? It's great to have Hopkins with the game on the line with a minute left, right? Because if you punt the ball back to Carolina, I don't know the way they're playing. If you get to overtime, a minute left, you go to him in a key situation. I thought Kelsey looked good at times. I thought Noah Gray was great. I think the tackle position is a dumpster fire, right? Clowney and Wanham are getting after these dudes. Mahomes is able to overcome this, most drives. Like they scored on most of their drives, like for the whole game. But then the first time they punted, it took 2 consecutive flags on Jawan Taylor to get punt 1, and then another sack, in the next possession, you give Carolina the ball back. Here's the saving grace. DJ Humphreys, who used to be in Arizona for a long time. He's actually a vet now. I played against him when I was at the end of my career, so he's been around a long time. Solid player. Maybe he can come in and stop the bleeding, but it's like whoever they line up out there, and it's a hard job to block at tackle for Patrick Mahomes. That's the thing. It's like, you call your parents at home. You're like, I'm going to block for Patrick Mahomes. Well, buckle up, son, because you don't know where that dude's going to be. And so it is a hard job, but we're talking about basic shit. We're talking about no hitters. We're talking about guys just not even getting hands on guys. And when a guy like Mitchell Schwartz, who played there a long time, is calling it by name, he's like, hey, Jawan Taylor is easy to run games on because his set is the same set every damn time. They're just not doing a great job at tackle. And so tackle play is not great. You're starting to see some holes in the defense. That's cause for concern. And Pacheco's coming back. That's a positive. Tip of the cap to Kareem Hunt. Off the couch. If they don't have him this year, I don't know how many games they've lost. So
we'd be turning up the grill heat. Maybe
we're not. We're never going to turn up the grill on the Chiefs. I got the utmost respect for the Chiefs. I got the utmost respect for Patrick Mahomes. These guys are going to be in it. It's like last year you had to work around drops. You had to work around the tackle play. You didn't have to work around problems on defense. And so I worry a little bit about, hey, what if the defense goes on a skid?
And how does Kansas City how their kickers just not missing kicks? And how they got a backup kicker making kicks?
Spencer Schrader.
Man, I like good on that kid, right?
Yeah. With a season full of people missing kicks.
But that just goes to show you, man, like a good kicker, man, you can have whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like as much as it would pain me to give a kicker the bag, I'd be like, here you go. Whatever you want.
You have to.
You can have your own offense.
Points are important.
Yeah, dude. No, but I'm saying, look how many of these games this year come down to kicks.
Yeah.
And since they moved the extra point back, look how many games come down to extra points.
That's more what I'm saying is, why can't Kansas City get unlucky and miss a damn game winner? Because I thought
gods favor him.
The football gods. I thought maybe that was going to happen.
Somebody in the chat made a good point. Omenahu's what? How far off?
Yeah, he's getting close too. I think both him and Pacheco should be.
So an Omenahu addition to the defense, maybe you're a little less aggressive by Spags standards, and maybe you're able to manufacture a little bit more pass rush with the front.
Maybe you need to go there and get a few buckets.
Dog, I only come out of retirement at 39 for one organization.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But Omenahu's a damn good rusher. and somebody who came up big for them last year. And so if they can get him back, maybe better. And I am not writing an obituary for the Chiefs because they eked a close game out against a team that was an 11-point dog. I just was shocked at how it happened. You know, like if it were a thing where it's 16-13, you got a bunch of drops, tackle plays poor. Well, you've overcome that before. But this is a different era, right? If the defense isn't going to be the same defense as last year, and you got to outscore people, but you're down Brown, you're down Rice, you're down Pacheco right now, and Mahomes hadn't played his best ball this year, it's just going to be harder to stick the landing. Not saying they can't do it. It's fucking Andy Reid. It's fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Shout out Noah Gray. 4 catches, 4 targets, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns, long of 35.
Nice.
Seems like Travis Kelce has taught him well.
Well, it's also exciting because, like, he's going to be your guy in the future.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, I don't know how long Travis wants to play, but, you know, it ain't 10 years.
Right.